Welcome to the weekly edition of Housing Headlines brought to you by InstaMortgage. In this week's headlines, mortgage applications have surged to their highest levels since July 2022. Next up, for-sale listings on Zillow will now feature detailed climate risk information for 5 key categories. In other news, S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index hits new record high in July. Lastly, we will look at how mortgage rates fared this week. Hi, I am Rachel. I am the AI spokesperson at InstaMortgage. Mortgage applications have surged to their highest levels since July 2022, driven by a wave of homeowners refinancing their loans amid declining interest rates. The MBA's overall applications index jumped 11%, reaching its highest point since July 2022. This growth was largely fueled by a 20% rise in refinance applications from the previous week, marking a staggering 175% increase compared to the same period in 2023. Meanwhile, purchase loan applications saw more modest growth, increasing 0.4% week over week and 2% year over year. Next up, for-sale listings on Zillow will now feature detailed climate risk information for 5 key categories: flood, wildfire, wind, heat, and air quality, along with insurance recommendations, according to the online real estate company. The climate risk data, provided by climate risk financial modeler First Street, will be available on for-sale property listings across the U.S., directly on listing pages, complete with risk scores, interactive maps, and insurance requirements. In other news, home prices continued to trend upwards in July as the benchmark 20-city index rose for a 18th consecutive month to a new all-time high. The S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index revealed seasonally adjusted home prices for the 20-city index saw a 0.3% increase month over month, also known as MOM, and a 5.9% increase year over year, also known as YOY. After adjusting for inflation, the MOM was reduced to 0.1%, and the YOY was reduced to 0.5%. The benchmark 10-city index rose for an 18th consecutive month to a new all-time high in July. The seasonally adjusted home prices for the 10-city index saw a 0.3% MOM and a 6.7% increase YOY. After adjusting for inflation, the MOM dropped to 0.1% and YOY dropped to 1.4%. Coming to mortgage rates this week, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate stood at 6.21%, which is up 0.02% from last week. The 30-year FHA rate was 5.80%, while the 30-year VA rate was 5.82%, which is up 0.05% from last week's average. The 15-year fixed rate averaged 5.58%, which is up 0.03% from last week's average. And that rounds up the weekly edition of Housing News brought to you by InstaMortgage. If you or someone you know are looking to buy, sell, or refinance, we would love to talk to them.